Hello, I am SpicyMan33, and this is a video I sort of knew I would be making eventually for probably a good, 2 months now, if not even more, and it's finally a thing that's happening. You can probably tell what this is about from the title of the video. But yeah, DisCore is over. It feels really surreal to actually be saying that, especially given that this has been a thing I've been doing since around July, pretty much, even though that was a different incarnation of it. But simply put, it's finally coming to an end. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a season out, as you probably know, for a variety of reasons that I'll be going over here shortly, so don't worry. But in case, for whatever reason, you're, I don't know, sensitive to spoilers or something, probably want to click off now, because the gist of the video has been reached. DisCore is not coming out. So anyways, for those of you who are still staying, DisCore has kind of always been something that's had its fair share of problems. This has been back to the original one, which the original DisCore happened when we were just a bunch of people who were super excited to be doing hardcores. Yeah, we all love hardcores. First hardcore community ever. Let's all do some hardcores. And for a lot of us, it was like the first time, since I think a majority of us here had only done hardcores with friends rarely. And for the most part, it was super unique to actually be doing hardcores for real. That's something that I certainly haven't, I certainly didn't do, even though I'd always been wanting to. So, in general, we were kind of just all pumped to be doing hardcores. We made 3 of them in that month or so. That was the end of summer break. And we had different plans for each and every one of them, a different editor. It was all very, very dumb. And we kind of realized when it was, past August and we had nothing out, not even a single episode, we need to do a new thing. So, pretty much, I proposed that we scrap those seasons and redo. And overall, we all decided to go with it. It was pretty much unanimous, even though some people had their fair share of issues, but that was what we decided to do. And so we pulled in Toad. We decided we definitely wanted him for the inaugural season, because he's Proton Toad. Come on, he's one of the most impactful non-hardcore members in the community. I'm sure most people can agree with that sentiment. So, pretty much, we recorded back in September, early September, which obviously now it's on the closing end of February, so that's a sign of how efficient we are. It took us almost half a year to even produce this dead video. And pretty much, what happened was, for the first, week or two, it was all pumped up. The season is very decent. It had a really, really, really good cast, quite possibly the best I've ever, done, period. But pacing-wise, it was pretty iffy. The gist of it is that we split up pretty early, caving team and above ground team, and about an hour in, Lufia gets blown up by a creeper. We mourn him, do a bit more grieving. It was actually really good pacing. And then we go into the Nether, get lost a bit. We actually have this really cool moment after going into the fortress where we make another portal, and three of us spawn right in a ravine, or in a mine shaft, and so we decide to split up and do a bit of mine shaft searching for just a bit. That was really cool. But then the unfortunate part is that I end up hitting a pigman, and that pigman, I block myself in, and the pigman uses cheaty corner block hacks to kill me, which that was pretty cool. So, yeah, then the issue is, after that point, nobody else dies. The grind is boring, and Zany dies at the end fight, and that's all. There's no more deaths. There's 4 winners, half of the cast wins, so it's very, very, very lackluster in that case. But back then, I don't think there is as much of a standard for hardcores. It was a lot more lax, so we were just kind of high on adrenaline. I'm sure the fact that half of the cast won was actually a good thing for them. They were happy that they won. that makes them more motivated to want to actually produce it. And so we, the first issue comes up, and I'll try to not point fingers as much as possible, but I kind of just want to give you guys the full gist of what happens. Though please don't, like, attack anybody, because we all really tried our best, even though some might have not tried as much as others. But pretty much, the first issue is that Lufia was originally intended to edit the series, and he simply just was busy, way too busy with school stuff. He's in, like, AP Calculus or something like that, because he's suicidal. And so I picked up editing. I literally, like, learned how to edit just so I could get editing some of the episodes of the team that wasn't with his, and I actually produced 5 overall, and I will link those 5 in the description. They will be unlisted on this channel. If you want to watch them, they don't actually have the overlay or intro, and some of them don't have all of the edits, but they do have footage and music, so if you want to see that, go crazy just to see the starting bits of DisCore, and even the aftermath of Lufia's death. That was pretty good. It's all very dramatic, and it's actually pretty nice, starting out at least. But the big issue here is that Lufia simply just couldn't edit, and then we needed his footage, and he didn't get it up. I don't know why. Eventually he did get it. We do have his footage now, but it took a while, and I'm sure this has been common knowledge because DisCore, we were pretty open about it afterwards. So yeah, that was a thing that happened. And by then, most of the motivation had kind of died out. But the real nail in the coffin, really, is that Zany is a very, very busy guy. He's a great guy. Like, honestly, I wish I could have played more with him, because he's a blast to play with. But the issue is, he really isn't active on Discord at all, and he really is busy. He's in college, and then he also has, like, he was working on Inanimate Insanity, so that left him pretty busy, and we were actually going to do a really cool thing. I was really excited for it. There would be danger portraits, which, instead of blinking, flashing stuff, which would be used only for, like, really dangerous moments, we would have intense fighting portraits, too, and that was going to be really cool. Unfortunately, what happened is that, Zany sort of got way too busy, and we haven't seen any of the portraits. Still to this day, he has sent, I believe, like, 2 chunks of messages this year, and it's clear that he kind of just doesn't really, he's so busy, we can't tell if he's not motivated or if he's just too busy, but that really contributed. To be honest, all motivation has died down. I know that personally, I would never be able to edit the rest of it, because at this rate, I would have to if it was to be produced, and that's just not fun for me. I have my own projects that I'm working on, and those are stuff that I'm actually passionate about. DisCore is something that it's just been depressing, and to be honest, I'd like to ask right now, please don't just go around and be all memey with this. Like, it's actually something that I know for myself, it's a really sensitive topic, because it is something that it was a sinking ship and I had no control over it. So please don't, it really does. It kind of hurts, honestly, just having this crash and burn so much, given we had so much going for us. But that's just my own plea. I know people will still meme it. People won't watch this far into the video, most likely. But yeah, it's just something it never really was meant to be, I think. All of the cards lined up in the worst way possible. And now I'm finally putting an end to it, which really, this has been, honestly, this should have happened, like, months ago, because we just weren't going to finish it, but I think we kept on holding on to blind optimism. And unfortunately, now you guys can see how that is going, because sadly, we have to scrap it, and DisCore in general. It just isn't something that's going to work out. Any cobbling together of it would be too abstract. Obviously, I mean, You'll see me, you'll see everybody else, presumably, in other hardcores. But it just kind of wasn't something that ended up working out. So yeah, all the flares will be gone. That's gonna be weird. All of everything will really finally be going away. I will have the video. This video will be up permanently, but all the others will be unlisted on the channel in the description if you want to watch them. Unfortunately, this is the last you're gonna see of DisCore. If you want to get any of the footage or, like, see the deaths or stuff, just feel free to ask around. I'm sure any of the cast members will gladly give you their footage or whatnot, because it isn't something that's really private anymore. But, yeah, that's about it. I've been rambling on for a while now, so I probably should end this off. But thank you so much for all the people who actually were still supporting DisCore. All you guys are great. And I'm sorry to have let you down. I tried my best. But unfortunately, as I've said before, it really just isn't meant to be. Thank you so much, really. And I'll be in other stuff. I'm sure you can see me in other things coming soon, later. You can, probably the same for everybody else, too. But yeah, unfortunately, this is the end of DisCore. So, goodbye, and thanks for watching.